In recent years, more and more people, especially women in the showbiz industry, have revealed their experiences with the dark reality behind all the glitz and glamour of Hollywood. But one actor's experiences in particular seem to be lost in the noise. Corey Feldman was one of the several actors who went on record to talk about how they were abused and exploited by the industry. But unlike his peers, his claims weren't taken seriously. Keep watching until the end of this video as Corey Feldman exposes Hollywood's creepy tactics to exploit young actors. Corey Feldman's experiences of abuse and exploitation. For many aspiring actors worldwide, Hollywood is the place to be. But Hollywood isn't exactly what it's cracked up to be, and we can see it with the number of celebrities coming forward with their experiences with the hideous side of the industry. Corey Feldman, despite talking about this issue for quite some time, his story has only gotten attention recently. He was a famous child actor who starred in the beloved 1985 blockbuster movie Goonies. And just like most actors who were catapulted to fame at such a young age, Corey struggled with abuse from both his family and the people in the industry. Corey was 3 years old when he started his career, and at that age, you really can't consent to anything, much less understand what's going on around you. It's the perfect age to push your child into a life and career that will make lots of money, and Corey's mother knew this. Corey Feldman probably made a sizable amount of money during the peak of his career, and he claims that his mother abused his earning potential, which led him to emancipate from his mother just like many child stars legally. But that wasn't the only thing that Corey struggled with as a child. Due to the efforts of the people who spoke up about manipulation and abuse in Hollywood, working conditions have probably been better, and actors know what and who to watch out for to avoid getting abused. That wasn't the case in the 80s though, and Corey had to suffer the damage that would eventually be a learning lesson for newer actors getting into the industry. The actor released a memoir back in 2013 where he describes the sexual abuse that he and co-star Corey Haim had to endure under the hands of multiple powerful men in Hollywood. He claimed that he and Haim were raped around the ages of 11 to 13 during the peak of their careers. The actor writes about this and attributes his struggles with substance abuse later in life to his experiences at the hands of his abusive mother and the people who molested him. The actor writes about this and attributes his struggle with substance abuse later in life to his experiences at the hands of his abusive mother and the people who molested him. The biggest problem in Hollywood is pedophilia, Corey Feldman says in one of his interviews. Given that there are actors like Brooke Shields, who was sexualized her whole life, and especially during her younger years in films like Blue Lagoon, where she was only 14, Corey's statement about pedophilia in Hollywood doesn't sound too far-fetched. Corey Feldman has been talking about this for a long time now, but his claims have only gotten attention after saying that he will name the powerful men that abused him and Haim if he raises $10 million to make a documentary about his experiences. Which begs the question, why was he not taken seriously before? Corey Haim's mother reacts to Corey Feldman's actions. As much as it is important to shed light on topics like these, when does it cross the line and become exploiting your experiences for money and fame? In Feldman's memoir, he mentioned that he and his best friend Corey Haim were molested when they were children. Haim died at the age of 38 in 2010 due to pneumonia. And Feldman said, Corey Haim asked me to make sure that if he died before me, that his story was told. I am doing exactly that. And true to his word, Feldman has been releasing so much information about his experiences, and even released a documentary called My Truth, The Rape of Two Coreys. But it seems like Corey Haim's mother disapproves of Feldman's actions. She acknowledges that her son was abused, but what Feldman is doing is just exploiting Haim's memory. Feldman announced that he would release a documentary after reaching a $10 million donation goal, and would release the names of his and Haim's abusers. Now he wants $10 million to do it, she said. Come on, it's a long con. He's a scam artist. If he was serious about this, he'd share the information he has with the police, Corey Haim's mother added. This is a valid observation given that there is no need to make a $10 million documentary just to release the names of people who have abused them, because if Feldman believed that these people were a danger to people, he would just release the names to the authorities ASAP. Corey Feldman has been a very vocal advocate against sexual abuse, but recently, after multiple women came forward about his behavior, he is now on the receiving end of sexual abuse allegations. This information is especially damning since he has branded himself as someone who condemns any kind of sexual abuse. There have been several rumors about him being a predator as well, but there was never substantial proof to prove these were true. That was until Mindy Robinson. Mindy Robinson, a close friend of Feldman, released an editorial in 2020 titled "Corey Feldman is a Sexual Predator. Former Angels Speak Out." After years of being an actor, Corey Feldman moved to become a musician and formed a band called Corey's Angels. Mindy Robinson released the editorial highlighting the experiences of some angels of his band and her own experiences being around Feldman. Robinson states that, "He demanded that I wear white if we hung out or did an event, which was weird, but whatever. Then he started demanding that I couldn't eat meat in front of him. He actually invited me to dinner but then refused to allow me to order anything with meat because he was vegan and found it offensive, which was the last time I agreed to ever take him up on dinner." She goes further to say that Corey Feldman would use drugs and his status as a celebrity to get women to have with him, which sounds just like textbook sexual abuse. She also mentions an instance where she was helping a woman who was suffering from the effects of alcohol and drugs while Feldman was throwing a tantrum over the fact that he probably can't have sex with the chick that night. Robinson also added, "Corey Feldman is a manipulative, emotional bully and takes advantage of everyone he knows. I very well believe that he himself was a victim of sexual abuse, but that does not give him the right to sexually violate women all while pretending to fight Hollywood predators. Make no sense. Corey Feldman is a sexual predator of the worst kind." If these allegations were true, Mindy Robinson was right in pointing out that if a bad thing happens to a person, that doesn't mean that person gets a pass or an excuse for being a bad person. It's a different kind of evil to build a huge platform behind the idea of protecting and freeing sexual abuse victims while being a sexual abuser yourself. Every sexual abuse victim's story deserves to be heard, especially in an industry like Hollywood, where the dynamics in power lend an easy hand for predators to abuse other people. Every story is as equally important as the other, and Corey Feldman's story just proves that even if you are a woman or a man that has money and fame, you are not safe from people that will take advantage of you. At the same time, do you think Corey Haim's mother is right to call out and think that Feldman is exploiting her son's memory? Do you believe the sexual abuse allegations thrown against Feldman? And if the allegations were true, do you think Feldman's actions are a direct result of him being molested as a child and being abused by his mother? Join the conversation and let us know in the comments section below.